Yeah,
Good job.
it's feisty.
Wow, it sure is. Woo-wee.
Out of everything in the live seafood section here, this is the king crab. If I didn't know what this was and never had king crab, I would say this is the last thing that looks to be appetizing. It's pretty ugly. It's covered in spines and looks like some alien creature. I think they used this face for the movie The Predator. It doesn't look like it would be a delicious meal. It definitely doesn't look appetizing. Unless it was presented this way, with lemon and drawn butter. Delicious. But in this video, I am not going to be eating king crab. I decided I'm not going to eat this because this has a warrior fighting spirit and is worthy of being spared. Just kidding. This thing goes for about $72 a pound, and this one here is around 8 pounds. That's around $575, so no king crab. I'm at Taste. Taste is a Chinese restaurant on Rainbow and Robindale in the southwest part of town. I came to this restaurant because it was recommended by a subscriber a long time ago. Here's the view as you come out of the restroom. Sorry, had to. This is what the restaurant looks like. It's a medium-sized restaurant which has some large private rooms. I was surprised. They can get pretty full even with all the seating. As you can see, they have a variety of live seafood. The decor and ambiance are nice and the seats are large and comfortable. They even have a little bit of a wine rack. From the reviews, I expected the food here to be good. I started off with hot and sour soup. Hot and sour soup is one of my favorite soups. It's like an egg drop soup, but with more flavor and more ingredients. It has the egg dissolved into the soup, and it has bamboo shoots, wood ear mushrooms, tofu, and a few other ingredients. It has a hint of spiciness, but I wouldn't really consider it spicy. But they do call it hot and sour, because there is a sourness, but it's a pleasant sourness. The sourness of this soup varies from place to place. I like the sourness to be a little more pronounced. For me, the hot and sour soup is an upgrade to the egg drop soup. They also have some classic Chinese barbecue items. This is the 2-item platter for $20. I got pork belly and duck. I love the roasted pork belly because of the rich fat content and the crispy skin. The pork belly here was extremely moist and juicy, and the skin was extremely crispy. A nice combination. The duck was also good. The duck was also extremely moist and juicy and tender. Has a really nice thin crispy skin. I love the duck because it's sort of fatty. It gives you a very rich fatty taste. Extremely juicy, and the sauces went well with it. I don't know if it was a plum sauce or hoisin or both. I experimented with both sauces. I liked both of the sauces. I liked all the sauces with both pork belly and the duck. In the appetizer section of the menu, I found soup dumplings, Xiaolong Bao, XLB for short. These are really fun to eat. They're served individually already in soup spoons. If you've seen my previous video on Xiaolong dumplings, you already know that these are filled with soup. These are served with the customary vinegar and soy sauce already mixed with little slices of ginger. These had a good amount of soup and was actually pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to be as good, but it was pretty good. Pretty decent for a non-dumpling specialty restaurant. The skin of the soup dumpling is important for me. I like them when they're thinner, and sometimes they have a really chewy texture that makes it really pleasant to eat. And these were better than I expected. As I always say, expectations play a very important role in your overall experience. In everything, and not just food. I always wind up getting this dish. This is a pan-fried noodle. On the menu it's called the House Special pan-fried noodle. It's got seafood and vegetables and beef and some kind of a thick sauce. It has great flavor. What I love about this is the noodles start off crispy, and then when it softens up because of the sauce, you have the soft noodles. And I like the noodles both ways. Here you have a crispy fish. It's either a flounder or a halibut. This is a special order. You won't find this on the menu. I kind of had to describe it to the person here and said, hey, down the street at Rainbow Kitchen, which is another Chinese restaurant really close by, they have this thing. The fish that's fried underneath is curved and they put something else on top of it, more fish. But I found this to be really good at Rainbow Kitchen, so I kind of was looking for this, described it to the person here at Taste, and they made a special order for me. So since I'm on the topic anyway, I'll show you some of the scenes from Rainbow Kitchen. They have very similar items. Just keep in mind that the prices that you see on this video clip is from the time the video was published. So the prices may not be up to date. So here I am at Taste, and I was reminiscing about my experience at Rainbow Kitchen last year, and I found myself comparing the two dishes. The one here, of course, was prepared differently, and it wasn't the same as the dish I had at Rainbow Kitchen. But that doesn't mean it was bad, it was good in its own way. The fish on top was fried rather than steamed like the ones at Rainbow Kitchen, and the fish underneath that was curved really didn't have much meat. But the fact that they were able to cater to my special request on such short notice was impressive in itself. This is the sizzling beef with black pepper. I love the sound of sizzling food on a heated plate. The beef was tender and it was in a very peppery sauce. You can really smell the pepper. But it wasn't to the point where it was unpleasant because I actually love the pepper taste. Have you ever noticed the texture of the beef in Chinese dishes? You ever notice that they're very soft and velvety? There's actually a Chinese cooking technique. It's called velveting. Velveting is a technique where you marinate the meat in cornstarch and egg white or bicarbonate of soda to give it that slippery and velvety soft texture. The meat is very tender and soft, and this kind of a dish, I like to eat it with rice. Next up, we have the 3 cups chicken. This is my first time trying the Taiwan style 3 cups chicken. There's a few variations about the origin of this dish. I won't get into the story, but in short, this is the concept. There are 3 cups of sauces put into an earthenware pot. From what I've read, it was soy sauce, rice wine, and sesame oil. There was also garlic and ginger. But it's probably not the actual sauces in this dish. The 3 sauces are simmered with the chicken until the sauce evaporates, infusing the flavor into the chicken. The chicken is a little bit chewy, a little more chewy because it's been cooking for so long, I believe, but it's full of the flavor of the sauces that's been infused. I really enjoyed this dish because it was different from any of the chicken dishes that I knew. My first time trying the 3 cups chicken, I loved the flavors of this dish. But I had to also get a crispy chicken dish. On the menu, this is called crispy chicken with garlic sauce, but it was more like garlic crumbles. The light golden crispy skin looked fabulous and the chicken looked inviting as well. This was kind of like a roast chicken or a rotisserie chicken, only the chicken was very firm. It almost looked fake. The meat was just so perfect, and the chicken skin was light and crispy. The thing about this chicken that I liked was not the sauce itself, but actually the garlic breading or the crumble with little bits of jalapeno. The sweet sauce was also good. I alternated eating the chicken with this sweet sauce and also the garlic crumbles with the little jalapeno peppers. The garlic crumbles had a good saltiness to it. Sometimes it could be a little bit too salty if you put too much on the chicken. That's when I would mix it up and dip it in the sweet sauce. So I had a good combination of sweet, salty, and a little spicy. And my final dish for this video is the pineapple spare ribs. It looks a lot like sweet and sour pork, but these are actual spare ribs with the bones. Out of all the great dishes here at this restaurant, if I told you this was my favorite, you probably would think that I'm whitewashed. This dish really did surprise me though. The sauce was way better than I thought it would be. I'm not exactly sure what made the sauce so good. It had the sweetness of honey. The spare ribs, I wish it didn't have bones, because at this point I just wanted to take bites without worrying about biting into a bone. One thing for sure is that it was way better than your average sweet and sour pork. This dish was not my favorite. In fact, I can't choose one dish over the other. I had a really good experience here trying all the different dishes. And there's no way I could have covered all the items on the menu. There's an extensive menu. Taste is definitely one of the better Chinese restaurants in the valley. Taste it for yourself. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next video.